Okay, welcome to Unit 6 of the Google Certified Educator Level 2 training. And this is from the Google Teacher Center, and it's now converted to what's called Skillshop. So everything I cover here, it aligns directly with Google itself. And Unit 6 is going to organize your classroom and school materials more effectively. So the theme here is organization. Four sections. The first section is to create a portal for your classroom, and that focuses on Google Classroom, the portal part. Using Blogger to gather ideas, update and share your syllabus with ease. That really just focuses on creating a syllabus. And the last one is digital portfolios to house student work. And I always say digital portfolios are actually very good for educators too. In case you want to get like an administrator job, or you want to get some other type job, it's always good to have a digital portfolio. So let's get going here. Okay, so here's a video. It's a recent one. It's a Google Classroom, and it's for the 2021 school year. I recently released it, and what it does is it breaks it down into 40 different tasks. So, like I said, this section is basically a review on Classroom, and it's really basic stuff of Google Classroom. However, you can use this video. I place it into our playlist, the level 2 playlist, and it's broken down where you don't have to waste too much time. So you could see from like task 1 to 20 or 1 to 40, and if you want to get there, you could kind of just go forward, go back, and use this if there's anything you forgot about Google Classroom, and it's updated less than a month ago. So if you feel like you need to review Google Classroom, go there, take a look at the task list, and then pick whatever task you want to know. Now, listen, you don't need to know the most complicated stuff, but like, the task list from like 1 to 10, like create a class, choose your role, invite students. If you forgot that, that's something you should go back and look, and that's something you need to remember for this course. So, all right, so this is Unit 6 now, and these are a couple tests. They say be able to share Classroom from your mobile phone. Okay, will they be able to test you that to test that on the Google Educator exam? That doesn't sound likely, right? Use Blogger, so know how to use Blogger and know how to use Google Drive. So you might want to go back and review Google Drive, but I think at this point we all know Google Drive. So as for task wise, maybe Blogger is the main focus here. All right, so create a portal for your class. Okay, we're in Google Classroom. So using Classroom, you may never again have to hear, "May I have another copy of the worksheet from yesterday?" Which I have to agree is good about Google Classroom, right? Because going to the copy machine's a problem. Um, it's always broken, and the person that breaks it, they just leave. They never fix it. So when I go there and I see it's broken, I know the person before me broke it and they just left. If I break it, at least I stay and I try to fix it. You know what I mean? Or I'll call the guy Tom Maddy to come and fix it or whatever. But yeah, the copy machine's always a problem. So instead, put the so the great thing about Google Classroom is you don't have to make all those copies. You put the responsibility on your students to find what they need. Okay, so you can put the information out there under Google Classroom. You can have a materials section. They're able to explore Classroom themselves. Use Google Classroom to bring student work online. You can create assignments and easily collect assignments and grade those assignments. Okay, papers don't get lost. They're not. You don't get that lie like, "Hey, I handed it in," and then you're like, "No, you didn't. You didn't press turn in. I don't have it on the computer. It's not here." Okay, benefits of using an online portal. And portal, they just mean Google Classroom. So some teachers have decided to have a class for each ability group within the class. Okay, that's something you can do. That's a great way to differentiate. So the class name was the class, and then the section was shorthand for ability groups. So when you get to Google Classroom, the first thing you're going to see is like the class card page, and you'll have your classes. But what you can do is like if you're teaching algebra, you could have an algebra section 1 group beginner. Algebra 1 section 2 group intermediate, algebra 1 section 3 group advanced. And then that's one way to differentiate. This allows teachers to differentiate assignments and announcements. Card 2, I can use the Classroom app wherever I am using the share button. Okay, that's again, we're talking about the app now. So students always have access to recent news articles or classrooms. I want to, it says here, I use the app. So here's an example. I use the app on a regular basis to check and see who has handed in the assignments. We also use the app with tablets and smartphones to take advantage from cameras on these devices. I have the app on my phone. I'm going to show it to you. Here it is, right? There's the Google Classroom app. I downloaded it and it's great, especially with the remote teaching. If I go to the beach or anything like that, I could always post an assignment. I could just, you could do it all from your phone. Yeah, I definitely recommend downloading the Classroom app to your cell phone. Very easy. This is an iPhone. I think it's the 8. All right, so again, benefits, right? Use Classroom as the access point to all online activities. Have students translate a Spanish article in class. Teachers can just add a link and announcements. The same goes for homework. You can create an assignment that gives details about exactly what you can do with them. Students are on Classroom. They can post replies to each other's questions as they do their homework. They can debate topics with each other. Even if there isn't a specific homework assignment, they can just communicate with each other in the stream. Now remember, from Unit 1, you have the ability to control if students are able to post in the stream and things like that. So it also says make sure students know what the stream is for and what kind of behavior you will accept and you won't accept. So you got to be careful, with the stream. If a student gets out of hand, just mute that student, and I've had to mute students before, and so quickly do they ask, oh, can you please unmute me? Can you please unmute me? Can you please unmute me? So that definitely works. So it is saying be careful with the behavior. All right, so planning your classroom. Each classroom has a class name and a section. Every announcement posted and assignment could go to every student within that class. So when you create a class and you create a class, a section, and when you post an assignment, you can make it where it goes to every person in the class. You can also differentiate. That video I have there that I posted earlier on, it's a long video. It's like an hour and a half or something like that. You don't. We should all have a good understanding about classroom, but there's probably things you don't know that you could do. If you really want to master Google Classroom, watch that video because it covers every single thing you can do from a teacher perspective. When deciding the structure, consider how you want to break down your students, taking into account what you want to share for them. So again, right, you could differentiate assignments, you could differentiate classes. Once you've decided the overall structure of the classroom, then you should plan each individual class. Okay? Again, we're talking about, you can differentiate classrooms and create different sections and things like that. Of course, you may duplicate for many sections. Remember, you can reuse assignments from different classes as well. The reuse button on Google Classroom is one of the best things. I love it. Okay. Consider these 3 ways to plan your classroom. The look. It's simple, but you can pick the right class name. You can do background theme. That's all in the video. Settings. You can control all the settings in one place by clicking on the settings gear. Remember, it's always that little gear, the settings. It's in the top of the classroom page. Excuse me, it's on the top of the stream. I think it's on the top of all streams. So you can edit the class description, the course code. You can adjust Guardian summaries, add class materials. You can add, that's where you can create a Google Meet link. And the stream has been redesigned to facilitate discussion. So you can consider how you can drive, students exchanging ideas. So the stream is kind of like the classroom discussion page. And the settings, you can you the settings you would really control the details. And the look is just, you want to have it look nice. All right, so consider the following questions when designing your class. Okay, what resources do you want to include? So, if you're a math teacher, create. And when I say resources, it's great to use materials for resources because then students can't turn in assignments and things like that. There's nothing to turn in; they just use it. Post Khan Academy videos, right? What external sites will you be using in the class? Also, you can, post websites as a resource. How many classes will you be creating? Now, it's interesting that they mentioned, creating, like different sections within a class, like to differentiate. That might be. Listen, if you have the time, go for it. You know what I mean? If you have the time. But if you're like me, and I have like 4 or 5 preps every year because they got me teaching algebra, they got me teaching geometry, they'll have me teaching biology because I have a bunch of I have a math cert, a biology cert, I've got a special ed cert, so they have me everywhere. So for me, it's like I'm not able, I don't have the time to do all that. But if you're like an algebra one teacher, you can differentiate and you have the time, go for it. Create a bunch of different classes. All right. So how might you simply use the external resources or tools within Classroom? So how can you use them? Okay, you can use assignments to detail which activities and an external site students should complete. Use the Share to Classroom button to give students a recent news article that corresponds to a lesson. Link content from external sites directly to the stream. Okay, each class within Classroom can have 3 levels of hierarchy. For example, grade, class, and section. Is that true? No, you have to create different classes. Okay, that's false. Remember, you've got to, it talks about, and it doesn't really, even when you create a class, it doesn't really, it starts with class, but it's not going to all be within a class. You have to create different cards. Who should you let post on the Classroom stream? Well, who should you let post? It depends on your goals. Okay, I am very restrictive because I don't need the headache, but it's up to you. Which of the following could you include in a materials post? All right, so materials, that's like resources. When you hear materials, think resources. Introductory video, class description, syllabus, links to anything, right? Um, that's all. In instruction, introductory video, do a math video. A class description, sure, a syllabus, all of that. Okay. All right, now we're going to go to Blogger, which is kind of new, right? We learned Classroom in the level 1, but this is all going to be new here. So you need to watch this video. It gives you a good understanding of Blogger, and it relates to education. I'm not going to make us watch the whole 4-minute video. You can just watch that, on your own here. And here it is. It's taking a while to load. But I basically go over Blogger. Okay. Okay, what is a blog? Okay, blogging provides a place for users to self-publish their writing online. Okay, so you can be your own blogger online just using Google Blogger. Today, anyone can have a blog. Users self-publish many forms of media online, and they do it easily and effortlessly. It's think about it. Years ago, the only way you can get your really information out was like with a newspaper or something like that. Now you just do a web page, right? A blog is a web page whose main content consists of posts listed in reverse date order. Okay, so as you create a new post, it is placed to the top, and it pushes older posts down to the bottom. So because of this feature, blogs are a great tool to use when you want to keep a running log of lesson reflections, and that'll come back. Okay, that's important. So you can have, like, here's what I like with Blogger. You can have Blogger going, and you could just do exit tickets every day, and you could start from the top, from the newest thing you've learned, and they could scroll down all the way to the beginning of the year, and it's great to show all the things you've taught. Okay, uses of blog. Okay, some common setups that educators use. Okay, you could have one blog with the teacher as the sole author. You can have one blog with a team of teachers as author. For like PLCs and things like that. One class blog that includes all students as authors. Okay, if you want to give them that right. And that would be good for something for English. At the high school level, and maybe for AP classes and things like that. Or you could have every student has their own personal blog. So there's all different ways to differentiate here. Okay, and pause this and get remember this. More uses of blog. Okay, if you want to add photos, videos, or documents to a blog, first put the media somewhere else. Photos can be stored in Google Plus Photos. That shouldn't be Google Plus, is gone, or just Google Photos. Videos, you can store videos in YouTube. It's a great place to store videos. You have almost unlimited storage, and you can store the documents in Google Drive. Okay, so first, you should have the photos already stored in Google Photos. I got to take that plus out. Videos, store them in YouTube. Okay, listen, and when you store videos when you create videos for YouTube, use an MP4 format. That's the one I use, and documents in Google Drive. You can then link or embed them into the blog post. So that's how you want to do it there. You want to first you want to store them in here and then just embed them in. There are three main ways you can control who views your blog. Okay, so and this is how it is with my YouTube videos. Okay, your blog can be public and searchable by Google, meaning they can type it in and anybody can see it if it's public. Like this video that I'm putting out there, I make them public. Your blog can be unlisted, okay, so that people with the link view it. So if when I do like personal one-on-one Google trainings, I'll do like I use an unlisted link sometimes, and I'll share with like one other person, and then it'll just be me and that person in a YouTube live or something like that. And your blog can be private, and you have to invite that person like through the email. For me, I use private just so nobody can see it. All right, blogs and your students. Teachers create blogs to share good resources. Students can easily use tablets to make blog posts. Okay, students may use their blogs as portfolios. That's a good one. Educators are able to create a teacher portfolio to keep track of their professional experience. This as a teacher, nowadays I see all these teachers out there. They're on Twitter. They're here. That everybody's creating their own brand sort of, and it's like a branding thing going on there. Create a use a blog or create a blog going and create your teacher portfolio. Portfolios are going to come up again too. Some teachers have their students create blogs to begin collecting their progress on various projects. And students then share their blog. Students can share blog links with their parents and ask them to comment, and that's something nice too. If you can ever get the parent, involved in the child's education, that's always best for the student's success. The more parents involved, research tells us the more successful they'll be. So these are just some ideas here. Okay, take a look at this too. Remember this. Okay, here's the quiz. You can use tablets to make a blog post on blog. I should be Google Blog. It says Blogger Blog. I think I wrote wrong. Yeah, I said that earlier. I don't want to go back to it, but yeah, you can use tablets, and you know, there's other tools too. All blogs are public to the world. Not all. Well, not all of them, right? I don't want to give the answer away, right? We said you could public, unlisted, and you could make them private. Okay, it could be public, but not always, right? And like I said, you can use tablets. Just trying to review here. Which of the following can you include in a blog post? Okay, let's see. Photos, YouTube video, text, links to websites. Okay, you can do all this. And let me ask you an even deeper question. All right, what did I say? Photos got to be stored in. You should first store them in Google Photos, YouTube. Take your videos, store them in YouTube. Take your text, store them in Google Drive. Okay, who can be a blogging author? There you go. Anybody. Okay, it's open to whoever. Teachers, students, administrators. Now, as a teacher, if you want students to have their own blog and things like that, remember you're going to be responsible. They didn't put this in there, but I would consider having like a contract or something for them to sign, because you don't know what these kids could write. Crazy stuff. Okay, update and share your syllabus with ease. Okay, this was a lot of fun here. I really I like this syllabus part. When I did the Google training and I created my own syllabus and I worked this out and I made the video. I kept this syllabus and I use it now with my students and it's great. And the parents like it. It looks nice. So watch the following video. Okay, here's a video and I do a detailed video on how to create a syllabus, a table of contents. Whenever I turn in my assignments in my grad classes, I always create a table of contents and you know the professor sometimes like, oh, that's great, table of contents. So what you learn here, it helps you with your professional development and it helps you with your graduate school and things like that. So this is a good one. Okay, taking your syllabus online. Okay, as students take more ownership of their learning through middle school and into high school, the class syllabus is an important and living document. It's a fluid document, right? Because you can keep this and make a copy and then you can make changes as you go along. You can change it for the next year. Okay, that's why remember it's a living document here. You could have it where you share it with students and they can ask comments on the document. Right, you have a comment section in Google Docs. Students use the syllabus to determine how successful they'll be in a teacher's classroom. And from college, the most important piece of paper you get from the professor is the classroom syllabus, and it's starting to be like that, you know, in high school. Your classroom syllabus can outline important topics such as content to be covered, grading criteria, behavioral expectations, and your syllabus should be accessible to your students and contain all important information about your content in classroom. Just a great tip here I want to give you. When you create a syllabus, always put at the bottom like a little asterisk and go, a syllabus is subject to change. Because you can have a parent, and I've had a parent complain, I forgot I made a mistake or something in there with the percentages or whatever. And luckily I put that little asterisk down at the bottom. I was like a subject to like, oh well, you're changing the syllabus in the beginning of the year. I'm like, up, 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 up. You look at the bottom right there. It says the syllabus is subject to change. So there you go. Update and share your syllabus. Okay, by taking your syllabus online, okay, by publishing your syllabus as a Google Doc, you can ensure that it's always ready for updates and readily available. When your syllabus lives in a Google document, you can link it. You can link it in emails to parents. Okay, you can embed it in a Google site. You can send reminder emails to students about upcoming dates for your syllabus, and it's easy to make changes on like a Word document, right? With some of the built-in features, images, tables, and styles, you can make your syllabus more professional and functional. You really got to watch that video I have. So, if you have this, you can get this Google Slides presentation here. I'll provide a link to it at the bottom. If you want, you could just stay with me here and just, not get it. But if you want, or somebody that's like, oh, I need it too, in the slides presentation, these are quick links. You just click here and it'll take you to the part of the video of using tables, alerting collaborators, all stuff. Okay, and that link's in the description. Also here, to tag and notify if you want to add math equations, if you want to crop and adjust images. This is all part of the Google Slides presentation course on the Teachers Pay Teachers store. But it's also in the video, so you don't have to get it. All right, so create a table of contents. I love doing this here. So you select a heading for the text to appear in the table of contents. When I saw TOC, I was like, what? So listen, you see where it says class expectations? That has to be heading 1, okay? And that's actually the second part. So first you're going to go to insert. Well, you can do it two ways. You can start here, right? And then so you would have class expectation, make it heading, okay? Meeting info, you would make it heading. A syllabus here, you see, make it heading, all right? So these are all headings, okay? If you don't have it selected as heading, you're not going to be able to make a table of contents. So then you go to insert, go all the way to the bottom, table of contents, and then you get two choices to pick. I like the blue lined one. I just like the way it looks. And that's how you create a table of contents. You don't have that. These words, the small words, shouldn't be headings. Okay, that's just your basic text. Okay, your times, your Times New Roman, just basic text. But the heading you have to have your, whatever you want to appear in the table of contents, you should have as heading. And it could be heading 1, and then you could have subheadings, right? If you want to make like a subheading, you would do heading 2 and heading 3. Inserting a table is easy. You just go to insert, drop down the table, and then just, pick here 2 by 5. That's kind of easy. Click the image. It says scroll to table, choose how many cells you like. For properties, select format and then table properties. So again, right? So you can go right here to format, table, and then table properties are gonna come up. This is pretty cool, this table property thing. I never really used it here. So again, it's format table, and then you go down here to table properties. One thing, you can make it really dark. You can see here, like you got the border up here. This is all covered in the video, so it's I'm not gonna go into detail on this, but table properties are pretty cool. Alert your collaborators. So, okay, you first have to share the file. So the file must already be shared. Then click on File, right here, and you go to Email Collaborators. And then, check off the person you want to share with and enter your message. You know what I mean? So if you made a change or something, you're gonna go to File, Email Collaborators, and then check the person you want here. So I got Janine Risquette. And then here's my little message. Hey, real quick, I have to change the resource section. Send. So here's how I'm, notifying them. Okay, to tag and notify in comments. And this is all part of Google Docs, right? So here I've got instructor Mr. Vela, table of contents. So highlight the text to be discussed. So let's say I want to talk about my name here, instructor. So I'm highlighting Mr. Avella, right? And then I'm going to click this little add comment. You see the little plus add comment thing? And then a pop-up's going to appear right here. Okay? And in the pop-up, enter the email with the person you want to talk to. So if I want to direct it to somebody in this pop-up, I can end up somebody's email. So here's like Learn System, uh, something I worked with before. Okay, mathematical equations for somebody like somebody who teaches math, right? Or a younger grade that teaches many different subjects. So you just go to insert, go to equation here, and then right up here is where you're really gonna pick here. You see, I want to focus on this. It's really this one here with the square root. That's the one you kind of want to get. Um, you could do things like a superscript. A superscript is like an exponent. So if you want to make something square to the third power, that's something you use a lot. There should also be, yeah, here's the square root. But there's other ones too. If you go, there's one with another section that has a fraction bar. That's something you might want to use. Limits and things like that. That's your calculus. And I don't know. I don't know how many of us here teach calculus. Okay, crop and adjust images. That's important, but that's something we should know. We should know that by now. Insert image, upload the image. Um, After the image is inserted, you want to make sure you click on the image. It doesn't show you that right here, but I click this image of myself first, and then I go to image options, and then there's just crop right there. And you really don't even have to pick image option now. I could have just go to the little crop symbols actually right there already. The image options is just if you want to recolor it, and sometimes it does look kind of interesting when you recolor it. All right, a digital syllabus. Okay, what advice can you give Mrs. Rison about making her course syllabus? Click here. So if you have the course, this is a quick link. And to look better while still, so it'll show you what it is, and here's some advice. Okay, so it would be nice if you have your own photo on the syllabus, like a headshot. I used a little Bitmoji. There's a lot of content on the syllabus, so use paragraph styles to help make the document a little more visual appealing. And this is all comparing it off the document that they give you in the Google Educator exam. Okay, unit overviews. You can have the name of each unit, the month in which they'll be studying, a brief description. That's one way to organize it. Unit overviews. Units are perfect for tables with 3 columns, and she could add the text and places on the table in the center of the document. So that's more just making it look nice. All right. It is not possible to email existing collaborators of a document from within the document. That's obviously false, right? I did that, remember? I said we go here, I think it was file, you go to email collaborators, check the person's name off, and then you write your little email. What can you embed into your syllabus to make it more engaging? Well, think about it, right? Definitely an image. You want to make an image of yourself, tables, so you can really break down a chapter. So tables are good, so you can, you know, use that table of contents. Outline what you're going to teach the whole year. Notice videos isn't selected, right? You really don't want to put a video in a syllabus. Come on. And drawings, okay? Put some, you can use like, I'm trying to think of like, a good way, but you could use like a flow chart and things like that. Like, this is what we're going to do first. That's what we're going to do second. Drawings are good for flow charts. Which of the following features allows you not only style text consistently, but also create links within a Google Doc? Okay. So which formatting feature allows you to do this? Paragraph styles. Remember what I said, right? You know. Um, how do I say this here? All right. So okay, let me go over the question one more time. Which formatting feature allows you not only to style text consistently, but create links within a document? So this goes back to the table of contents. Okay, remember I said it's like heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. It's not going to be bookmarks has nothing to do with it. Conditional formatting, that's unit 5 with the Google Sheets. Hyperlinks, no, that's like unit 2 we went over. Paragraph styles is like, so you can create, when they say create links, they mean those links in that table of contents, because when you create a table of contents, it's actually a link to it. So if If let's just say I have a big, large, document and it's like 100 pages, and there's like 100 different sections. So maybe section 89, I want to create a link within my document to section 89. So I could create a table of contents by using paragraph styles. I would have to make that like heading one or two or three, and then when I create the table of contents and you click on that part of the table of contents, whatever that, it'll take you all the way down to that section. So that's kind of what they mean. How can you notify people of changes to your documents? Okay, what do we say? You highlight the section. Okay, you insert a comment and then mention their name. Okay, don't forget that plus sign. You can use file and email collaborators option. Again, that's in the top left. You go down, email collaborators, and just type in what you got to type in. Okay, use digital portfolios to house student work. We're on section 4 now, so we're getting there. Give me a second. Get a drink of water. All right, so portfolios are fantastic for hosting student work. Electronic portfolios are great for students as they provide a platform for them to reflect on their own learning. I keep saying you need to have your own portfolio too. Portfolios create space for the reflection process. They also serve as a gauge to visual. I always spell that word wrong, but not here. As a gauge to visualize progress throughout the school year or even through the school years. Teachers can also use the portfolio to assess projects as they can focus not only on the finished project but also observe the process. Okay, so this is just a general overview of portfolios. Here's an old video I made of portfolios. The older videos are this teaching and education. They're not as good as the first ones as the new ones I have here, but it gives you just an overall idea of how you can use student portfolios. You don't have to watch this. About portfolios. Okay, electronic portfolios can host all kinds of electronic files like documents, presentations, spreadsheets, videos, and audio files. That's important to know. That's a lot of stuff you can put in a portfolio, which is why we use it here. So this bullet's important. Other non-digital work such as painting models and theater productions can be digitized by taking pictures, scanning, and recording them. To house your files, you can use Google Drive, Google Sites, or a combination of both. Probably I would get into Drive first, okay? You want to save everything into Google Drive, remember. Okay, choosing to use electronic portfolios. Perhaps offer one or two projects per month. So here's what you can do with your students, a couple ideas. Okay, using electronic portfolios for students. Offer one or two projects per month, one suggested by the teacher. Maybe give this some student choice here. We know from research that student choice is leads to them, putting more time into their work. Host them on a Google site and have student-led conferences. Okay, for conferences, students just open up their site and talk. That could be a little bit more tricky. Um, Card two. At the beginning of and these cards are right from the Google Skill Shop. At the beginning of the school year, you can help your students create a Drive folder called Portfolio. That is not a bad idea. And when they want to include something into their portfolio, all they have to do is take it out of their take it out of their tablet, take a picture, take a video of their work, and save it in Drive. When they say a tablet, they're assuming here that you're giving students, their own tablets to take pictures and things. Okay, so when they talk about a tablet, they mean to take pictures and take videos. Okay, that the school is providing them with the tablet to take pictures or videos. All right, card three. Provide a Google Site template so students can create and copy and customize. That is a good idea, providing a template. One of the reasons we started doing this was that universities are looking more and more for evidence of students' achievement besides just test scores. There is a push to get rid of like standardized tests and like SATs in colleges and things like that. I don't know how far it's going, but this is something that would benefit students, right? If they could have a Google site showing all the work that they did. There's actually a push to get rid of praxis exams for educators, which is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Listen, you have to know what your subject is you have to know the content to teach that content. So I don't know where that comes from. Many art teachers in several schools got together. So here's card four, and they've done art portfolios. That's a great idea. Some art, so students can design digital art using 2D and 3D design apps. They could take photos or videos and keep it in a Google Drive folder, and they can share that with their teachers. At the end of eighth grade, they could organize their work as a Google site and as part of the reflection process. So this right here with the art, the fourth card talks about doing both, right? So you're gonna do a little bit, store the stuff in Drive, and then later on put it in a Google site. A very good for art. Okay, housing student work. With Drive, you don't have to worry about running out of space. It has unlimited storage for G Suite for Education accounts. Okay, but that's G Suite for Education accounts for the students. Okay, create a folder for each student and have them share between each other. Okay, so that was Google Drive. Remember, you've got all the space in your G Suite for Education account. Google Sites, they offer, it's easy to create pages and insert media. You don't have to know HTML programming languages. Okay, so remember, with Google Sites, if it's like on the right hand side, if you click, I believe it's the middle tab, it'll take you to things you can insert, and you can easily insert videos and things. Remember, everything's connected in Google. Okay, pages. A Google site is made up of different pages, right? You can set up your site, and I don't know if I have the video here on in this, but you should go back and watch the Unit 1 video on Google Sites because I forgot everything. I'm trying to just remember it in my head. You can set up your site to be the hub of your classroom or help students set up a portfolio that can follow them through their academic career. Sites can either be public or private. Okay, there's more information if you click here. I would, yeah, I always lean towards keeping everything private at first. Okay, um, but I mean, you could, at first keep it private. And encourage student if it's your site or a student, because you never know. Um, Remember, posting photos. You can't post a photo. You cannot post a photo of a student, an underage student, without like a parent's consent. So that's why I always lean towards keeping stuff private. Okay, so we're talking about pages within the Google site. You can duplicate a page. So if you find yourself designing a similar layout over and over again, just make it a template. You do this using the duplicate function, the duplicate page function. And duplicate and reuse are like actually the most important things about Google. Like I said, that Google Classroom reuse, you reuse a post, a stream post, and an assignment is great. All right, customize your site. Okay, there's many things you can do to customize your Google site, make it represent your classroom. You could change like think about the theme. Okay, colors, fonts. One of the fonts that are cool, I can't think of the name. I think it's called a Playful font. That's a good font for the K to 3 grades. I use that sometimes. Um, so that's one thing you can do. Add media to your sites. That's important. Okay, that you can add so many things there. Okay, remember you can add many forms of media to your Google sites. It's important. Docs, calendars, maps, YouTube videos, forms. You can do this by linking and embedding. This is like one of the keys to remember here. And they'll ask you to do it on the educator exam. Okay, yeah, I did put it here. So you may want to watch the following video on Google. Okay, so this is from level 1 on sites, right? They expect you already passed it, so they expect you to be able they expect you to be able to do this here. This is the video, and they got me going, they got me do it here. Look, they got me going here. Here's my video, and then I'm going into sites and et cetera and so forth. Um, okay, hold on. Yeah, we just did. Okay, so housing student work. So share the site. After having students create their site, have them share the site with a collaborator or eventually have them publish the site. Okay, always check before anything's published, I think. Okay, using Drive and sites together. That's important. Okay. Um, Both house, can house student work, but consider using both Drive and sites to house student portfolios. Take advantage of every user having unlimited Drive storage. Take advantage of it, right? You're not paying for it; the school's paying for it. So neither are the students aren't paying for it. So have students put all their digital work in Drive and then display it on the site. You can easily insert Google Docs, Sheets, slides, and even a whole folder into a Google site. All right, designing your portfolio. Consider the following before building your site. Consider the following before you build your site. So, why are you making your site? What's the purpose, the goal? What do you want to put in then? Okay. What is the structure of the site? Like what type of pages? I created I created a couple different classroom sites, and they're nice to have. The parents like to see it, but I didn't really make the most of it, to be honest. And it is a lot to keep up, but you need to know it though for this exam. So what type of media do you need to gather to put into that site? Remember, if it's your own personal media, like the students are, well, maybe you want to show like your bulletin board. First save it to Google Drive and then insert. And how will you get people to know about your site? How are you gonna like market it? Who are you gonna share with? Definitely put it where that we just talked about. Put it in the class syllabus. All right, all right. So this is a longer one here. Let me see, I don't know how long it's been, but definitely. All right, so you have to decide. So okay, you have to decide to use Drive or Sites to how student work, as you can't use both. If you get this wrong, you weren't paying attention. Right? False. Right? We use them both. On a Google site, you can insert. This is also something I said, very important. Videos, images, slides, and maps. Right? They just want you to know you can insert a lot of stuff here. One way to digitize student work, such as paintings, models, and sculptures, is to what? So how are you going to turn a painting into digital? Take a photo and a video, right? Come on. Google Sites, like Drive documents, can be set by the user to be private or public. True, right? Private or public. Those are your two options. It's not like they don't have unlisted as it, as far as I'm aware of. Okay, so Unit 6 review. Okay, so here's the review. We're almost done. Okay, you can embed a Google Map into your Google site. Yeah, right. Yeah, we kind of just did that one. Why would you use a URL shortener with Google Sites URL? Why? It creates a short URL that's easy for students to type into the address bar. Anytime you can make it easier for these, for our students, for our knuckleheads, make it easier for them. Okay, what age are students able to create blog posts to share their learning? A very good question. All of the above. Okay, so you can create blogs at any age. Now let's not make them public. I don't think it's wise to make them public at every age, but you can create remember, you can create a class blog, make it private. Have the little kids writing and things like that. Which of the following is a way to set up Blogger in your classroom? Okay, one way is, and I remember the slide we did on this. One way is the teacher is the sole author, and students can leave comments. Teachers and students can be authors. Students are the authors, each with his or her own blog. So you make students have their own personal blogs, or you're gonna have a team of teachers that are authors and they share one blog. That's like a PLC thing. Okay, which of the following is true about using a Google document as a class syllabus? Okay, you can collaborate with a teaching partner and create a shared syllabus, and you can share your syllabus with the world. What are some ways to make a Google document more engaging? Okay, the table of contents I love. And you can use images with a purpose for whatever meaning, and you can add collaborators using the plus size. Using different fonts for each paragraph is going to make it look stupid. Students can take many. A student work can take many forms. When students include documents, videos, and other media in Google Sites portfolio, best practice indicates they should put the media where? In Google Drive. On YouTube. Now, remember, YouTube's unlimited as well. Okay, you can store unlimited videos in there. I don't know if everybody knows that. And in Google Photos too. Okay, remember, you want to keep it there first and then put them in Drive. Excuse me, you want to first store the stuff first and then worry about putting it in Google Sites, basically. Okay, when students have to create a digital portfolio, what applies here? What's true? Excuse me, why should you have students create a digital portfolio? One, to reflect on their learning, and this is a students have their own digital portfolio, so that you can collect evidence of their learning. You got these administrators breathing down your back, and that's because the parents are down their back, and to use as a college application, and even share with their family. Let them know all the good work they've done. All right, that was a long one there. All right, that was Unit 6. All right, I'm going to try to get Unit 7 done as soon as I can for you guys. All right, I see in the comment section, I got a lot of positive comments saying, hey, keep them coming, keep them coming. So I'm going to try to get this done as fast as I can. Tomorrow's Sunday. I'm going to go to church, and then when I get back, I'll try to get Unit 7 done. And then I'm just going to relax probably. All right, guys. See you later.